guys, Coach Julia here. This is number 2 of a daily core workout that you can do that's all about your back. We're not here for six-pack abs. I got people I know that I could send you to. This is really all about understanding how to use our core strength to help provide that stability that our back needs so that we can keep doing super awesome things like squatting, deadlifting, snatching, clean and jerking, all that good stuff. So the only thing I'm gonna need today is a bench or a box at the end. We're gonna start breathing. Shocker. Child's pose today. Sitting back onto your heels, head on the floor, arms out in front of you. You can also play around with just keeping your arms down at your side, and as always, we're gonna focus on sending the breath to your back, getting some expansion through the back part of your rib cage into your low back. It's also super helpful to think about expanding sideways with those ribs. My ribs come in together on the exhale, they go apart on the inhale. Second thing that we're gonna do, so we get a little bit more global movement through your back, but we're also starting to integrate some hips and shoulders a little bit, is going to be a high plank to a down dog. And we're gonna focus on making this transition happen from your core. I want you to feel like there's a string that goes through your navel, and as you shift back through that down dog, somebody's pulling you through that string. So we start in our nice high plank, shoulders directly over your wrists, feet are hip width apart. Inhale, exhale. From the low abs, pushing back into my down dog. Inhale forward, moving from the abs. Exhale, push back. Next, we're going to do something called an open book. Because again, if we're going to talk about your back, we do need to talk about your upper back. And then we'll come back to some more core stuff. This will start in side lying, and it's super similar to an air guitar if you've done one of those. You're going to start with your knees stacked at 90 degrees on your side. Your arms are straight out in front of you. We're just going to take that top arm and reach it all the way across as you exhale. Trying to get a rotation through your chest, through your upper back. Inhale, you come back. Exhale. Keeping my knees stacked, reaching that opposite shoulder to the ground. Inhale back in. Staying on your back, we are going to do some dead bugs, my favorites. I'm going to have you do both same side limb reach and cross body. Chances are you've done cross body before, but it's worthwhile to play around with different lines of tissue and seeing how that affects it. So we're going to start flat on your back. The real goal of dead bugs is that your back stay touching the floor the whole time. We're going to bend your knees and pick your feet up off the ground so you have knees at 90 degrees. We're going to take your arms and reach them straight up towards the ceiling. Again, back stays touching flat the whole time. We're going to reach same arm, same leg apart. As you exhale, inhale, come back in. Exhale. Now, if that's too hard, you can always just take that bent knee and tap it to the floor and then come back up. Another version of this is going to be going cross body. It just gets your brain thinking a little bit more. Okay, from here, we're going to work a little bit more on obliques and glute med, right? Because both of those play really big roles in keeping our backs healthy. So we're gonna set up in a low side plank on your forearm. You're gonna go ahead and lift your hips up and make sure you're in a nice straight body from feet to hips to shoulders. Everything's locked out. This top arm I can take up or I can rest it out in front of me. And then all I'm gonna do is take my top leg up and down. I don't want it to rotate, so I'm not turning the foot up. It's gonna stay pointing forward. And I wanna make sure this bottom glute is working. This one is harder than it looks, friends. All right, now when we talk about core, we can't forget about your glutes. So we did a little bit of glute med. We're gonna do some glute max with some glute bridge marches. To set up flat on your back, go ahead and take your hands on your hips just so you can feel for any asymmetries. You're gonna tuck your hips under, rib cage down, push your feet through the floor so we come up to a glute bridge. Notice there's not excessive arching in my back. I wanna really make this about my glutes and my hamstrings. Now from here, with my hands on my hips, I'm gonna try as little shifting as possible. I'm going to bring one knee in, set it down, engage. I want to feel that glute and that hamstring take over as the opposite leg comes in. Okay, last movement today. We've done a lot of work already on obliques and hips, but we're going to finish with a little bit more. And this one is specifically going to target your adductors, your inner thighs. This is something called Copenhagen plank or an adductor side plank, same deal. If you're using a box like I am, you're gonna be on your forearm. You're gonna take your top leg, and the easier version of this is with a bent knee. So I've got my knee bent to 90 degrees. My opposite leg for now is resting on the ground. I'm going to lift my hips up and then try to hover this bottom leg off the ground. So what's holding me up are my adductors on that top leg. I'm gonna make this harder by lengthening out that top leg. It puts a lot more load on my adductors, still on my forearms here, top leg. And because I'm in a box and not a bench, I'm keeping this bottom knee bent. Thanks for joining me. As always, try those out. Incorporate them into your warm-ups, incorporate them into your cool downs. You can do them as accessory workouts on your days between training. As always, if there's other things you want to see, leave me a comment and subscribe. I'll see you next time.